If you're going to revive a long-dead franchise, one of the most important things for you to do is to make it evoke the original game. There have been exceptions to this rule, but only a few. In general, if you want to be successful at reviving a franchise that's dead or on life support, you need to do something that reminds people why they used to love it. And Punch-Out on the Wii is a masterclass on doing exactly that. For starters, the game of course does have all the surface level stuff you'd expect. The music is almost entirely made up of new versions of the old NES music. Most of the rival boxers are making their return from Punch-Out games of the past, but it goes much deeper than that. At its very core, Punch-Out for the Wii is basically a new version of the original Punch-Out. The core mechanic is completely intact, and it's just as fun as it's always been. Each boxer has their own pattern you need to learn, different moves requiring different timing and different directions of dodging. Much like the original NES game, this one has as much in common with a puzzle game as it does other boxing games. And those puzzles remain unique and varied throughout. I never got bored or felt like I wasn't being challenged. Sure, the fights in Punch-Out mostly boil down to dodging and blocking at the right time and countering when you have an opening, but much like the original NES game, Nintendo has managed to wring an incredible amount of variety out of it. And also, much like the original title, the expressions and motions of your opponents really help to bring it to life. Every move telegraphed by the other boxers is so amazingly overwrought in a way that is extremely well complemented by the cartoonish art style. You always know something's coming, and since the tells are unique for each and every character, once you spend a bit of time with each of them, you'll always know exactly what is coming as well. I never felt bogged down on any specific boss, and anytime I had some trouble, I could find my way past it relatively quickly with just a tiny bit of practice. The difficulty curve is just steep enough to remain challenging without ever becoming frustrating, and there are never any huge jumps in difficulty that seem impossible to surpass. But most importantly for a game trying to revive the past, Punch-Out for the Wii isn't just a nostalgia machine. It draws from its predecessors in every conceivable way, from the music to the characters and style to the gameplay itself, and it always does those things to its benefit. But it also plays and controls extremely well, which is never something you can take for granted with games for the Wii. The key thing that this game understands about the Wii that so many games did not is that the motion controls of the Wii are extremely limited. And if you want to make those motion controls work to your advantage, you need to work around the system's limitations. So, Punch-Out uses the motion controls for throwing punches, sure, but it also knows that it shouldn't be using the motion sensing functionality for any sort of precise commands. You add modifiers to your punches and perform dodges by pressing buttons on the Wii remote and using the control stick on the nunchuck. So the game still has that physicality you expect from the Wii, with you literally throwing punches using the motion controls, but it has that physicality without making you frustrated at the motion controls' inherent inaccuracy. But those great controls are only one part of what is overall a really fantastic revival of one of the all-time classics of Nintendo history. The core of Punch-Out is so well maintained in this reboot that it really is a shame that it seems to have receded into the halls of obscurity like so many other Wii games have. Every Friday I look at a game that was either ignored when it came out or has been forgotten since. Games that people have missed. If you like that idea, be sure to subscribe so you can see the latest videos. If you like this video in particular, be sure to hit that like button, and thanks for watching.